Sometimes I just don't feel like being as swift as a coursing river. That I'm still just a little boy inside who has too many responsibilities now. Having the expectation to always keep my shit together. Being vulnerable is a weakness. Failing is not an option. Provide regardless of the state of your overall health. I'm told that we should be more open and talk about feelings. When we do, we are shut down by society. People expect us to be strong and hard-headed because we are men. People get confused with laziness and depression in men. Men should know everything and know how to handle pressure like those WW1 veterans. Anything else that is less is seen as weakness. Men are accused more than women. Women usually get custody in a breakup. Women can hit you in public and nobody bats an eye. If a man is in a park with children, it is sometimes deemed suspicious that you are a pedophile. Men are careful what they say because anything could be used against them, and their life can be ruined over simple vocabulary such as miss. Men are almost never believed in sexual assault cases. The list goes on. Having to be afraid to be around children because of the negative stigma. Edit, holy fuck, I am so sorry for what everyone has suffered. I've read every reply and comment chain from my comment. Let's hope we can have a world where this crap doesn't exist. That no matter what we do, we're never an actual parent in other people's eyes. My family and co-workers referred to me taking care of my daughter while my wife's out of town as babysitting instead of, parenting. Mother-in-law always tried to take my daughter when she was colicky and I was holding her, like, A, it was my fault, or, B, that I didn't know what I was doing. Every time I'm the one taking my daughter to functions, I get the evil eye from half the moms like I don't belong there. There's some shit dads out there, but they don't get the type of abuse as those of us who actually do the job. Always being told to show our feelings more and then having them ignored or laughed at if we do. Being seen as a pedophile. B/C You're concerned about a kid that wandered ahead of their parents. Instead of thinking about the danger that puts the kid in, they judge the man looking at the kid. Growing up it was expected that we were supposed to ask the ladies out. So if you found yourself as a 25-year-old virgin who'd never kissed a girl, it was obviously because you were some kind of loser. Your genitals during summer. Wish they had a better design. Nobody takes your feelings seriously or bothers to check in on you. The worst thing for me is how people look at me when I'm around kids. My next door neighbors are lovely people and they have 3 kids. 7, 9, and 11. The kids love to play soccer or football or frisbee, and sometimes when I get home from work, I'll go outside and play with them. It takes a village and all that. They have a 5-year-old cousin who is over often. She loves to get carried around and play with the cousins. When I'm around those kids, when their extended family is around, the extended family looks at me like I'm a pedophile. The kids run up and hug me and stuff and drag me outside to play with them. The scorn and disdain from the aunts and uncles is profound. And then they'll hear the kids call my name, and they'll be like, oh, that's you. They talk about you all the time. And it's suddenly okay. But those looks I get bug me. The initial reaction of other adults is to assume that something evil and disgusting is happening, as though their parents would just let that happen. It just sucks to work hard trying to be a good human and have people look at you like you're the lowest of the low. Edit, it makes me really happy to read all the stories of other men being good role models to kids who aren't their own. Good work, men. The loneliness. Never getting compliments. Always being seen as a creepy person even though we're not trying to be. The only reason people think about you is if you can do something for them or are perceived as a threat. Hair, everywhere, I mean seriously, does it have to come out of my ears? Male pattern baldness. Being assumed to be a predator. My job occasionally requires me to go into schools. I live in such fear of being labeled a pedophile that I refuse to use bathrooms unless they are staff only. When traversing the halls I constantly look at the floor and require an escort anytime I have any kind of interaction with students. My company knows this, and the school personnel I interact with knows this. All it takes one incident and there will be whispers about you for life. We evolved for a different world and our primary biological gifts are mostly useless. We struggle to find purpose in a world where so much stuff seems like inconsequential bullshit. Being short gets us the manlet label. The stress of providing for your family amid all the current turmoil in the world and knowing that it's all on you whether your family has a stable and financially secure life while feeling the need to obtain a life that probably isn't realistically obtainable anymore, and every day watching the neighborhood you live in slowly get worse and know there's nothing you can do about it right now. Feeling like you can't open up because of how it always turns out, therefore bottling it inside and letting it all out at once, thereby making it even worse. And just being told, well, it will be okay. Okay, cool, sure. Well, as the one that it depends on to make it okay, I kind of need to know how to do that. The pressure of being expected to succeed all the time and being expected to be the breadwinner. Being taught that having/expressing emotion is feminine and inherently bad. Having no value unless we provide something. I saw the shift as I entered my teens. I wasn't a child anymore and received no sympathy or care for any of my problems. Man up or get over it when female family got lots of sympathy and understanding. Once I started earning money and could provide more, I was suddenly super popular. When my wage dropped over COVID, I was basically ignored. Learned a valuable lesson though, much more selfish now but still generous with the people that stuck by me. I feel like I can't genuinely enjoy being around kids without people thinking I'm weird or a pedo. A lot of us just want love, but we're deemed creepy if we're not conventionally attractive. I've seen guys with the biggest hearts get talked and laughed about because they asked a girl out and got rejected. Going bald. Never being allowed to show emotion, we're expected to suffer in silence. The amount of stereotypes and assumptions about us. A lot of women always assume you're trying to hit on them. It is possible to have friends of the opposite sex. The absolute crippling lack of equity when in court trying to get custody of the kids. If you're broke, you ain't shit. Your status is your net worth. Sitting on your balls. Loneliness. The stereotype that all men are pedophiles if they like working with children. Volunteered at the daycare that I went to when I was young for a field day event. One of the mothers there expressed her concern for a male being there around her kids, and word got back to me. I was pursuing a degree in early childhood edu and dropped out and gave up on that dream because a lot of people thought I was weird or that I must be some sort of pedophile. Looking like gorillas when inside we're tamarins. Have to be competitive to thrive. Honestly, for me, it's the stigma that we have to not let stuff hurt us, physically or mentally. I feel like women say be open, be emotional, but then when we get hurt, physically or emotionally, all I hear is, that's nothing compared to what women have to go through. Loneliness even with good mates.